Hello, everybody, and welcome. As we like to do every week, we like to take a look at the past week's market activity and then, of course, kind of bounce around the market and look for something to trade. Well, if you're around last week, we had the Fed meeting, and you can see it was kind of a wild ride. The Fed meeting happened here. The market took a dive for a couple days, and then right after the Fed meeting, it popped back up again. So it kind of went up and down, essentially going nowhere. And by the time it was all over, volatility, as you can see, had dropped all the way down. Over here it was running high. We didn't know what was going to happen. Post Fed meeting, spike, and then back down. And essentially, if you look here, we've kind of gone nowhere over the last few months if you take out the highs and the lows. So that's the S&P 500. Of course, we know everything looks fairly similar. The NASDAQ is here, and the IWM is always kind of usually a little bit behind, but essentially it's in the exact same place, and volatility is low all over the place here. So what are we going to trade? Well, there's been quite a few earnings trades, and there's been quite a few big moves over the last, let's say, month. And Meta is one of them. If you look at Meta, it took a huge dive after earnings right here. This is earnings. You can see volatility spiked before earnings, but still, even after earnings, it's still pretty high. It's almost as high as it's been out over the last 6 months if you take out the earnings that came up in the last couple weeks. So let's go look at Meta as our trade. If we go to the trade page, we're over here. We always like to do 45 days if possible, so this will be 46 tomorrow. Over here, though, is something you might not be familiar with. If we go all the way to this side, you'll see this over here. And on this particular platform, what this is telling us is the volatility for this expiration cycle, but also this number here tells us plus or minus 41, which means that's what the expected move is over the next 47 days. So the market is expecting a plus or minus roughly $40 move in the next 47 days. So if at all possible, we'd love to make our iron condor $40 wide on either side to keep that move inside it, right? So we've already set this up to save us the trouble. We're just going to say this is right around 450. So I'm going $40 up on the call side, $40 down on the put side. In this particular case, Meta has $5 wide strikes, so we have to buy the call and put $5 away. And when it comes to this, we're looking for about, remember, it's 33 cents minimum per dollar wide. We'll say this is $5 wide, which means we're looking for at least $1.65 or more credit for this trade to make it a valid trade. So come Monday, we'll throw these on. Depending if everything stayed the same, we'll go up and down roughly 40 bucks and look to collect $1.65 or more. Now, if we can't, if we go to the charts, you'll see, as I mentioned, it's taken a big dive. So personally, as a contrarian, if I'm going to move one side closer than the other, I'm probably going to move the put side closer because I'm going to expect it to go up from here more chance than it is to go down. And that's purely my assumption. I'm a contrarian. When things are down, I think they're going to go up and vice versa. So in this case, it's taken a huge dive. So if I have to make a tighter move, if I have to bring one side up over the other, we'll look at this, right? What that means is I'm going to move this side up. So I might move this to 415, 410 if I can't collect the 165 or more on this particular one. Now, if you were, a trend trader or something, you might move the call side down if you thought it was going to go down from here. So you might go down to 485, 490. That's how you adjust these to fit your assumption. But for me, this is where we're going to be. $40 up and down either side. If I can't get the credit I'm looking for, then I'm going to look to move the put side closer and get the 165 or more credit on this $5 wide iron condor. And that's our trade in Meta for Monday. I am excited to let you know I've completed a book that is now available to everyone that wants to get it, called Learn to Trade in 7 Days. This is a book that will take you from absolute ground zero, as far as knowing absolutely nothing about options, all the way to trading them. Now, I'm so intent on getting this book to you because I really believe it is such a valuable resource for anybody and everybody that I'm going to offer an incredible deal on this, so stick with me on this. But before we get there, I want to show you what the book entails. The book is broken down into 7 days. Day one being, what is an option? You'll learn everything about options themselves. We'll compare stocks versus options. Then we'll get into basic option strategies like the vertical. And finally, we'll wrap it up with how to trade verticals and then the making and managing of trades, which is to me the key to success long term above all. Now, as I mentioned, if you get into it now, if you go to this link, you can get this book for only $9.99. And I know that may not appeal to a lot of people because a lot of people aren't into books, but I'm so intent on getting you this book because I really believe it is such a valuable resource to anybody and everybody that I'll also throw in any one of my courses right here available on Udemy right now. So for only $9.99, you not only get the book itself, but you get one free course, which can be valued for as much as $100 depending on when and where you buy these courses. Again, just go to this link here and it'll take you to this page where, as you can see, you'll get the book and one of my courses for only $9.99. So really can't be beat. So again, just to reiterate, go to this link here. You will get my book, which you can hang on to forever, and I really believe is such a vital resource. I'm throwing in a course to really get you motivated to buy this book. That's how important I really believe this book is. The book and one of my courses for only $9.99 simply by going to this link. Please jump on this opportunity. It is something you really will be happy you did.